This is a whole lot of stuff. Hi, Shanna Rowe Jackson here from Caution Artists at Play, and today I am finally going to put my novelty art supplies to good use. Like most artists, I tend to collect art supplies, and I get a lot of art supplies as gifts, and that also brings in a lot of unique art items. Fun, gifty things that are either considered novelty or unique, and a lot of times those things kind of hang out in the studio but don't get much use because they're really like for fun and for looks or not necessarily archival. Well, today I'm going to change that. Well, they're still not going to be archival. However, I am actually going to use them for once. So you're going to see me struggle through this mixed media piece with a bunch of art supplies that not usually supposed to be used. All right, so let's take a look at some of the stuff we have. I feel like I have a little bit of everything here. So I'm going to start with the surface that I'm going to use. So this one is actually meant to be used, but the thing that kind of makes it a novelty item is the shape of it. It's unique, it's different. And I originally got this because I thought that I was going to do a video just specifically on this paper, but then when I got it, I couldn't even get the cover off because it was glued too much and the cover just couldn't handle it. I had to tape it on. It just was a hot mess. And I'm like, I can't just, you know, make a video about this specifically. However, it is going to work perfect, I think, for the theme of using a bunch of novelty art supplies. It's probably the most unique kind of paper that I have because of the shape. And I even tested to see if it was acid-free, and it's not acid-free. It faded. So yeah, but this is the paper I'm going to use. I have not actually tried it with any mediums yet, so oh, wish me luck, because I'm really scared about this paper. But at least it's gonna finally get some use. So the next thing that I am going to introduce you to, actually you might have seen it before. I love this so much, and I have other better shots of this because I can't keep it in the shot. My dad got me this for Christmas one year, and it's such a dad gift, and it's perfect, and I love it. I don't know if I'll use every color, but I am definitely going to be hitching a ride on this Ferris wheel today. I'm super stoked about it. So aside from that and the gel pens, I actually do have some actual kind of mediums to work with. We're going to start with the paint that I'll be mostly using. You all have seen it and loved it on YouTube for a few years now. This is something that has been very popular online. This and brands like it. Very, very novelty. This one is the Balm Up 25 watercolor set, but there's different ones around. They're reasonably priced, and you can take them anywhere. It is this compact watercolor set. And again, being the YouTube artist that I am, had intentionally bought these so I could do a video on it, just like everybody else has already done. However, it didn't happen. So now it's going to be used with the rest of my novelty art supplies. It also came with some of these water brushes, which is really convenient. I do think this is really cute, but there are no light fast information like posted on it, or is no light fast information posted on it, so it's probably not archival. Hopefully it'll work well for our little project. All right, next up, I have some fun pastels that I'm going to use. And these are actually a real art supply, obviously, but they have that kind of novelty feel to them because they have a unique theme. They are the Jane Davenport Making Faces eyeshadow pastels. So they're set up to look like real eyeshadows. My sister got me these. I love them so much, and I have used these in a video in the past, even though they weren't like featured prominently. I actually used these when I was redoing my Bob Ross Chia Pet, and I used some of these to kind of bring some rosiness to his cheeks and more accurate skin tones, and it actually worked really well on the terracotta. mixed with acrylic. So I'm hoping I can find good use for these in this project as well. All right, so those are two of the more like main mediums, but I also have some drawing like mediums that I'm going to bring in aside from just the gel pens. And I'm going to start off with my graphite that I'm going to use. So I have these scented mechanical pencils. They smell nice and fruity and yummy. They smell like candy. So this will be a nice process where I get to have some aromatherapy while I'm working. And I have this one pencil that came out of a set somewhere. Now, okay, I know this isn't really novelty, but I will show you why I had to bring this pencil in. And that is because I needed an excuse to use this. Look at this freaking pencil sharpener. Look how cute it is. He had to come along for the ride in this novelty artwork video. I mean, look at him. Look at the smile. You can't leave him out. He's fantastic. So I had to get a regular pencil. Hopefully this one fits in there. And it's relatively novelty. I mean, it's got animal print on it, right? That's a fun theme. It's still a gifty kind of thing, right? So that's what we're doing here. I just couldn't leave it out. And he also came with some of the eraser things that also vacuum up after. So I'll be trying those out as well. Again, this is just another chance. Woo, I'm dropping stuff. This is just another chance for me to use some things that have been hanging out in the studio, looking pretty, but not getting used. Okay, so I also have some ballpoint pens that I'm going to bring into the mix. And no video would be complete without something unicorn themed, right? I think. So I have my golden unicorn pen, which hasn't even come out of the package yet. And then this fellow here, which is a unicorn seahorse. And I just think that is just so pretty and precious. And so we're going to see if we can get some use out of these as well. Since I'm painting, I also brought along some paintbrushes, and they also go along with a magical theme. I got my unicorn-themed paintbrushes and my mermaid-themed paintbrushes. These came from Hobby Lobby. I've been wanting to try them forever. I don't know why I haven't, probably because I have plenty of other brushes that I'm already using. However, look how pretty they are. Oh, I can't wait to try them. Okay, so I also have some waxy themed things that I'm going to be using. My friend Kayla got these for me on her honeymoon in the Cayman Islands. And they're pencils, colored pencils, but they're really essentially like wood with whole crayons crammed into them. And I probably won't use these too much. I am going to use them for some mark making so I can say that I used them, but since they're a gift, I really don't want to use them up. Plus, there's like really no way to sharpen them. I mean, this is certainly not going to fit in this sharpener. And yeah, but I have to use them. It has to be part of it because it's a gift item and I love them and I just think they're super neat. Along that line, I also have these wooden colored pencils that are more standard colored pencils that my sister got me that I will also be trying out. And I don't know how all this stuff is going to work together. I'm going to try to use at least one of each thing. I don't know if I'll use every single color. It's not a very large piece of paper. And I don't know how these mediums are going to mix. Like, y'all are in for an adventure with me today. I also have these, which are kind of a novelty kind of themed thing with a peel and pull that I might use a little bit of. That's a lot of crayons. It's a lot of crayons, but again, we'll see. We're on a mission today. We are on a mission. And, of course, you may have seen these. These are probably the most substantial item that I will be using today, and that is my miniature colored pencils. I did a video where I did an illustration using these tiny, tiny little things. Here's praying for the hand cramps. Like, let's hope I recover from this. But yeah, I couldn't leave these out. So I had looked all over my studio for something marker themed. I thought I still had my Mr. Sketch markers from when I did the video about those. Those are the fun scented ones. But I think I must have given those to my niece. However, I did find 2 items that could kind of fall into the marker category, and that is this amazing highlighter that I have left over from school. It's shaped like nail polish. How cool is that? Like, that is super neat. And then for highlights, I was thinking I could use this chalk marker, which is supposed to look exactly like chalk. I don't know how well these items are working, but yeah, I mean, this could bring in some highlights, and it's kind of neat and unique. Yeah, it's kind of nifty. So we'll see how well that works. And then I'm gonna need a way to fix my mistakes, so I will be bringing in the eraser. How fabulous is this? This is just the coolest ever. And if that doesn't work well, I can always fall back on my sushi erasers. I mean, what artist doesn't have erasers shaped like sushi? If you don't, then can you really call yourself an artist? I mean, I don't know. These are the questions for the ages. And then the last thing is the only thing that I could find remotely usable for a water cup, and it is a water cup that is semi-novelty item, is this travel water cup by Faber-Castell. So it pops up. It's good to bring for traveling. I bet this would be great with my little watercolors. But this is what I will be using to put my water in for when I use watercolors. And it's the only thing that I could find in the studio that kind of fits the bill for this video. So now that you've seen the goods, let's get to creating. All right, let's do it. Let's put the eraser to the test. It feels weird. Works. It works. You hear that? Did you hear that? It works. Now for the sushi. Ooh, these work too, and I was worried. That kind of, well, it doesn't stain the paper at all, but I was worried about the dark leaving marks. This kind of left yellow, unless it was there before. But they work! Oh, this one does smell a little different. I thought they were all going to smell the same. So far, the paper's holding up pretty well. I normally wouldn't... Ooh, this does smell like cherries. I normally wouldn't draw directly on the paper, but... Ooh! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about these. But the paper is holding up pretty well. And I have been erasing a few times. Pretty excited about these smelly stencils. I don't know why I haven't used these more. I always use mechanical pencils to draw. Feels almost like sacrilege to be opening all these supplies that I've had for a while. But the only wasted art supplies are the ones that don't get used, right? I just chose the things that I thought were unique and on the novelty side of things. Just fun, different kinds of gifty type art supplies that I have laying around. So yeah, I just wanted to see what it would be like to use them and to do a mixed media piece and have fun with it. And hopefully this will come out better than that cockamamie artwork that I came up with when I was using the cheap art supply kit a couple weeks ago. So far, I'm already liking it better, but we'll find out. This is going to be a lot of different art supplies to use. Here's hoping the paper holds up, and here's hoping I come out with something that doesn't look like a 6-year-old painted it. These are actually pretty opaque watercolors. They feel almost like a gouache. I'm not hating it though. I'm not mad at it. I'm kind of enjoying it. I can definitely see why a lot of people like this style, although they stick together when they're wet, so that's kind of complicated. But yeah, it's it's a messy good time. Okay, so far, I'm liking it. It's kind of weird though, because this paper buckles, even though it's a block and it's attached. So, we'll see. And we'll see if we can even separate it after. I'm going to get a good scan of this first. Now, here's hoping that the other mediums I use don't ruin this. We shall see. Little known fact, a lot of pastels or even charcoal is actually kind of water soluble. So if you add a little bit of water when working with pastels or laying it down, I usually lay it down first and then add water after, you can actually smear it around with water. And that's what I'm doing here, because I don't really have a great color in my watercolor set that matches the color that I'm looking for this lily. So just a nice little tip there for you. Usually like the powdery, chalky pastels. And as I said, charcoal. You can get some really cool effects by adding water. So yeah, there's your PSA for this video. So this is the part that I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I have to figure out a way to bring in the ballpoint pens and the gel pens without really turning it into like a full-on illustration. My husband got me this one for Easter one year, because he's an enabler and I'm a child. And I thought about doing a whole illustration just using this pen. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, like just seeing me do a drawing with this completely ridiculous pen, let me know in the comments below. Could be interesting. All right, here it is, my very, very mixed media piece. Very, very mixed media piece. I have made a mess of my whole entire house doing this little project. But here it is. I'm actually really happy with it. I used every kind of art supply, every kind of fun, unique, novelty little art supply. But I didn't use every color because clearly I didn't need every single color. But I think I got good use out of each supply. Like, I used a lot of colors, unexpected colors, like some blues and purples and things that aren't as obvious in it. So I did utilize as many colors as possible. And yeah, this has been so much fun. I am really surprised at how well it came out. I mean, obviously it's not my best masterpiece in the world, but considering what I was working with, I mean, really, like, it's kind of absurd. The materials that I used on this were definitely strange and unusual and so much fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed myself. I finally got some use out of these art supplies that have been laying around in the studio that, you know, are mostly for looks but still functional. And yeah, I enjoyed myself. I might play around with this a little bit more. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like to see more like this, give it a thumbs up. Also, I wanted to mention that I am on social media and my Instagram could use a little bit of love. I've been putting some videos over there, just really fast videos. So I have that linked in the description if you would like to see some projects over there. A lot of times the projects that I'm working on, even some that I don't put on my channel, end up over there, or you might get to see a project before I put it on my channel. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, please follow the link in the description and check out my Instagram. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I am going to clean up this mess and yeah, have a great day. Bye.